This next contest is scheduled for one fall.
As you got to look for a moment at the Premier Tag Team Championships, which will be at stake later on tonight in our feature matchup, ladder war between the Cobra Brothers and Crumbles and Defarge. Before we get there, we still have an all-star lineup to bring to you, including this next contest. We're about to meet the first competitor about to make their way to the ring right now.
Introducing first, making his way to the ring from Derry, Maine, weighing in at 205 pounds, the Reaper, Matt Conard.
We have not seen Matt Conard in Premier Championship Wrestling before, but many on this roster are familiar with him. Conard is a former tag team partner of the leader of the Culmination, the welterweight champion Gory. They were known as the Headless Horsemen in a number of promotions throughout the tri-state area. Gory is not here tonight. I don't think that's a coincidence that Gory's not here and Krimson is. Krimson's been on a war path towards Gory for many, many months, and we've seen Remy LeVay put in Krimson's path. We've seen former tag partner of Gory, G-Raver, put in Krimson's path. Krimson's beaten them all. If Krimson defeats Matt Conard here tonight, it's another step closer to his one-time apprentice, one-time creation of evil in the Dead Wrestling Society. But that's a big, big if, because Conard is intimidating, dangerous, and very intense. Conard trying to intimidate our official. No respect for anybody. He is bought and paid for by the Culmination with one job in mind: destroy the embodiment of evil. It was last summer that Krimson came up just short of capturing the Premier Championship and bringing it to the Culmination. After the matchup, Krimson showed respect to his opponent, a handshake, and this enraged Gory in the Culmination, and as a result, Gory ended a 6-year relationship with Krimson at the drop of a hat, and the Culmination assaulted Krimson 4-on-1. Gory has wanted nothing to do with Krimson since then. Is Gory ducking his one-time mentor? It appears that way to me as this matchup starts impromptu.
You and I have known Gory for a long time. You know there are just, every now and then, something sets him off. And once it's stuck in his craw, it's a rarity it comes out.
Yeah, and it's Conard controlling Krimson in the early going, but Krimson has, keep in mind, a big hand in the fact that Gory is the way he is today. Krimson had abducted Gory, had brought him into the Dead Wrestling Society, and they had dominated Prime Wrestling for a number of years here in the Cleveland area, including the Prime Championship, the Tag Team Championships, and the Television Championship. That group held every title at one point or another, and a lot of Gory's killer instinct, a lot of his lack of conscience, lack of any human qualities, let's be honest, you can trace that back to the teachings of Krimson. And now has Gory become more evil than his teacher?
Things fall apart, Joe. The center never holds. And just because people are on the same page today doesn't mean that they will stay there.
Well, why won't Gory stand up to the challenge and fight his mentor, his teacher, his one-time leader? Why is Gory not in attendance?
Well, have you met Krimson?
Unfortunately, I have.
So you have an idea of why he's known as the living embodiment of evil.
Without a doubt. Look out.
You know who knows it even better? Gory. Would you want to get... He knows the darkness that is in that man's heart. Would you want to crawl into the ring with him? You've only seen so much of it. Gory's seen all of it.
Well, in that case, I wouldn't cross Krimson. I wouldn't piss him off to begin with. And Conard is paying for the sins of Gory at this point.
Well, to be fair, Conard didn't have to take the match.
No, he didn't. But you know, these loner types and these types that just hang out amongst themselves in these dark corners, they stick together. There's a bit of manipulation here. There's some mind games going on here. Just as Krimson had recruited Gory and Cursed back in the day, Gory has recruited Remy and the Kogers and G-Raver and Conard, and it seems like they're all willing to do his business because they're all part of that infection that Gory's been spreading. And when I say spreading, I don't just mean in Premier Championship Wrestling. I mean in every major company within, 400-mile radius of my voice right now?
Easily.
Ouch.
Gory has a way of manipulating people.
2 count only.
And those manipulation skills may have come under the tutelage of Krimson. They may have been there, and it was just something that Krimson developed. It may have been something he implanted.
Well, the question I have is, Krimson may have taught Gory everything Gory knows. Did Krimson teach Gory everything Krimson knows? And that's what I want to find out if these two ever get together one-on-one. Let's give credit to the Reaper, Matt Conard. You know as well as I do what we're talking about. It's very difficult to go shot for shot in physicality against a man like Krimson, 20 years in the game and as ornery and angry as ever when you see Conard taking a cheap shot that time.
Oh, when the punches aren't putting him down. Kick the rope while it's between his legs. It's a good plan.
Without a doubt, it's an effective plan. He got away with it that time. What do you think is waiting for Matt Conard if he can rid Premier of Krimson forever? Is there a cash bonus? Is there a sacrifice waiting for him? That's Conard with a pump kick, nicely done. Cover, 2, and no. Or is it just Gory's powers of persuasion sending Conard here? What do you think has sent Conard on this mission?
My thought is you don't ask why the plague spreads. You don't ask why the field burns. Conard does what he does because it's what he does. This is the same as why does he wake up? Because it's what he does. If there's a reward to it, the reward, I think, is probably going to be the reward that he assigns to it, not anything that is given to it.
Well, look at his physicality. Look at Conard's chest turn about a half a dozen different shades of red and purple. And Krimson has got to be looking at Conard and see it Gory. The faceplant connects. 2 and no. Conard is called the Reaper, and it's not just a fancy tagline. It's because of his ability to just physically dominate you and almost methodically and metaphorically just take your soul from your body and leave you so powerless and helpless in the process. Krimson going for the witch's wheel. Conard counters. That could have been it, but the bottom drops out for Krimson. Hook of the leg. Near fall.
We've seen a lot of people fall to that witch's wheel.
Without a doubt. We've seen Johnny Gargano over the years, Matt Cross. Major names fall to that maneuver. Conard, not one of them, at least not as of yet, as Conard. Is Conard going for the witch's wheel himself? Not really sure that time. But Krimson turns things back around. Got it that time! Oh, Conard got spiked! Violent reaction as Krimson picks up the victory. Jayworth, if you are Gory watching this later on MP4 or DVD or however you see this, what goes through your mind watching Krimson defeat another of your close allies? And before we get your response, let's hear from Krimson himself.
French author Andre Gide once wrote, "There are very few monsters in this world that warrant the fear of them. Ladies and gentlemen, I am that exception." Mr. Gory, in your culmination, you are the sacrificial lambs that will be led to the slaughter at the altar of my burning church. And this time, the congregation is coming with me. Krimson, like the mask.
The congregation coming with me? Jayworth, that sounds like Krimson's not coming alone for his battle with Gory.
Well, he knows what Gory has. My guess would be he's loading up his arsenal. You don't go to war without weapons, Joe.
Krimson kissing Gory goodbye, but what's going through the mind of Gory watching this?
You have to... I think he already knows how dangerous Krimson is. I think what he's learning is just how serious Krimson is.
The embodiment of evil apparently is rallying his own troops Could a war be brewing between he, the congregation, and Gory's culmination?